I thank the honourable member for your comments. The question is that the motion be agreed to, and I call the honourable member for Fairfax.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker, and I'm honoured to stand today to talk in respect and memory of Con Sciacca. It would have been the beginning of 1991 when I first met Con, and Con's son Sam, who I'll get to in a moment, was in my year at school at Nudgee College. And the first time I met Con, the members opposite will probably enjoy this, I'd made a speech at the start of the school year to the school community, and parents and friends must have been there too. And having made that speech, probably as school captain I'd say, is probably why I had that gig, Con came up afterwards. Had never met the man, didn't know who he was. And Con called out to me, turned around, went over as you do and introduced yourself. And he didn't introduce himself. He just said, "Mate, you need to join the Labor Party." So that was Con's first words to me. And the great thing was with Con, of course, when I explained, well, Mr. Sciacca, once I came to know who he was, I'm actually the other way inclined when it comes to politics here. He again was brilliant, and he made it very clear when I told him I'm actually not a Labor man that that's okay by him. So long as I'm a good bloke, that's all right by Con. And Deputy Speaker, indeed, that was Con, and it was Con ever since. And so I stand in this Parliament, in this chamber today, not as a fellow person from the Labor movement. I don't stand here as a relative of Con, nor do I stand here today as a previous parliamentary colleague of Con. Con later in life, whether it be by SMS, email or in person, would refer to me as old mate. And so maybe I stand here today, Deputy Speaker, as one of his many old mates. Not an old mate that Con would necessarily ring up to confide in and share his deepest thoughts, yet such was the man that when you met him, you would know that he's completely open, brutally open, with his honesty at times, which was just so valuable. An old mate, I suppose, I may have been to Con, not in the sense that he would ring me up and we'd go and knock around together. But nevertheless, once you did socialise with Con, such was the man, he would make you feel as though you are the centre of the earth. He would make you feel so special, because that's who he was. He was such a generous, larger-than-life, charismatic character. Where I think my relationship with Con developed, strangely enough, Deputy Speaker, was actually through the tragedy of death. In 1991, when Con's son Sam and I were in the same year at Nudgee College, a fellow student in our year, Adam Monaghan, sadly took his own life by jumping off the Gateway Bridge in Brisbane. This, of course, had an enormous effect on the school community, not to mention the family, of course. Con being in this Parliament, Con being able to wield a bit of influence, went to great lengths to ensure that barriers were constructed, installed either side of that Gateway Bridge. And the numbers of people who sought to jump off that bridge dropped by somewhere over 85% within a year of those being installed. Thus, through the tragedy that occurred with that family and that boy Adam, who was a friend of all of ours at school, Con delivered. He got a tangible outcome that has subsequently no doubt saved lives. And when you think of 2,500 Australians or more take their lives every single year, that's nearly 7 a day, Con Sciacca sought to do his bit. The year later, 1992, of greater tragedy to Con personally, of course, was the passing of his son Sam, who was my year, from a very rare bone cancer. And you can imagine the impact this had on Con. Con was, in my view, first and foremost a family man. And the impact of losing his boy Sam, or Sammy, as he would call him, had an enormous impact on Con, and it was a pleasure to attend the launch of a fellowship that he started soon thereafter, actually with the Labor Party, in honour of his son. And his son Sam was not unlike Con. You know, grade 12 videos, if anyone remember those that you may have done at school yourselves. There was a video we did in our Year 12 year, and Sammy at the time was going through treatment. He had no problem, as soon as the video came around, taking his hat off, showing his bald head. Then as an 18-year-old boy, 1 year away from passing away, he knew what his limited future held. But big personality, big smile, happy for the world to see his shaved head. And as I sat with Con Sciacca before Christmas on his patio in the top of the tower there in the CBD, there Con sat, shirt off, totally relaxed, just like Sammy. And he spoke very openly about looking forward to the day to being united with him. And so, Deputy Speaker, can I say from this side of the House, but probably more personally just from me, and maybe also those who I went to school with, that we send our greatest sympathies to the Sciacca family. It was a privilege to attend the funeral. Con was about family. He was about friends, which I came to realise. And as we saw on the 30th of June at St Stephen's Cathedral, he was also a man of faith. Family, faith and friends. God bless Con Sciacca, and may he rest in peace. Thank you.
I thank the member for those very heartfelt remarks. The question is that